Hello, welcome to the Bakwas channel for self-paced tutorials on Internet of Things. This video demonstrates an introductory use of natural language processing using Google ML Kit. The objective of this tutorial is to create an app, lay out a user interface, write code to extract objects from text, enter test samples of text, run the app, and examine the entities interpreted. This tutorial is derived from Chapter 5 in Laurence Moroney's latest book. No changes were made to the code except to use the latest supported versions of all dependencies. In order to follow along with the video demonstration, some familiarity with Android Studio is desirable. Although a smartphone is mentioned in the slide, the app will work on any Android system that is supported by Google Software Development Kits. The steps for an app are: create a project for the app, create an user interface, code the processing functions, integrate the code, and run the app. Launch Android Studio to create a project. Navigate from the menu bar by clicking File. On the drill-down menu, click New. To create an app, select the empty activity template and click Next. Enter preferred name, location, and language for the app. There are two build.gradle files, one for project and the other for module. Open the module version of the build.gradle file. Insert the dependencies in the header section of the file. Open the project version of the build.gradle file. Ensure all variables are defined. Sorry to iterate, x.y.z as shown in the slide should be replaced by actual version numbers. Perform a build. Await build successful message in the output pane. This app has a very simple user interface. In the left pane project folder view, drill down from app to res to layout. Open activity_main.xml. Insert 3 control fields under linear layout. The first control field is edit text. The second control field is button. The third control field is text view. Essentially a bare essentials vertical grid. The entity extraction has 4 basic parts. A client function initializes the extractor. The extractor is downloaded based on model options. The extractor creates a collection of annotated objects. The objects are parsed for display on the screen. Linear layout is a vertical grid in this example. The three cells stacked vertically are edit text for text input, button to initiate input processing, and text view to summarize the output on one line for each extracted entity. The Google ML Kit permits localization based on ISO conventions for language and country. The ML Kit is being actively upgraded. Newer localizations are being added. The extractor model relies on the language settings for processing. The list of supported languages under the current beta is 15. Note that Chinese and English have locale options. The code to download the extractor is attached to an event. The call is asynchronous. It is best to determine the status of the call with a Boolean operator check. The extractor builds a collection of objects through the processing of the input text. Each object is essentially the string extracted from the input text and the type of string, for example, email or address or phone number. In the final step of the processing, the object collection is iterated. Each object will contain one or more pairs of values. Each pair consists of the identified string and the type. There are many entity types in the ML kit. Each entity type can drive further actions. Here are some examples of entities and the accompanying text that led to their detection. The integration of the code essentially prepares a simple workflow from capturing input text to event handling for extraction and finally for display of output results. This session illustrates entity extraction. The upper half is the input that will undergo extraction. The button in the middle initiates the processing. The lower half displays the output from the processing. This video tutorial was a very simple introduction to natural language processing using ML-Kit for Android devices. The app extracted contextual information from text input for presentation on the device. There are many ways to extend even this very simple demonstration. This presentation was prepared with assistance on special effects from sufiisma@gmail, Laurence Moroney for his books and videos, as well as Google ML-Kit documentation. Of course, none of this would have been possible without the free open source software from Kdenlive for nonlinear editing, LibreOffice for documentation, OBS Studio for recordings, and of course, Ubuntu for the platform services. The music is from the YouTube audio library. It is called Images of Tomorrow by Unicorn Heads. Also to my family, my teachers, colleagues, and subscribers, a simple thank you is wholly inadequate for the journey through the years. Nevertheless, thank you again to everyone on this list for the encouragement, support, and understanding to help me to continue doing what I like doing. That is, to assist in a small way to make more productive use of computer technologies. That's all, folks. Thanks for taking the time to view this presentation. Would love to hear from you with your feedback. You are always welcome to be critical in any which way you can. Until next time, bye for now.